Hey guys, this is HD, and I am here with Husky Starcraft again, and you guys can even hear Husky barking in the background. That's actually my neighbor's dog. Don't know what I can do about that.
I see
Uh,
what you did there.
yeah, and it is going to be the game two in the Triple Strike Team Cup, and it is going to be Fredz staying on for Team Quebec, and of course, Root Gaming losing their first player Shet is now forced to throw up Drewbie, and we'll see if Drewbie can redeem honor for Root Gaming, and it is going to be game two on what map is this? Scrap Station. So Husky, go ahead and take it away.
I just want to say that we are in the Christmas spirit here with some red and green. Even if you don't celebrate Christmas, you can be super stoked for this game. It is going to be a TVT, which recently I've actually personally have played some TVTs, and they can turn out pretty crazy. And especially on this map with an Island Expo, it's always interesting to see with Terran players if they try and take that Island Expo early, because of course they can just lift off. But yeah, Drewbie's got to be definitely wanting to redeem his team here, so we'll see if he can, make anything happen, or if he's just going to get stomped by a bunch of Marines like we saw in game number 1.
Yeah, it looks like we have two SCVs coming out. I thought we might have seen some cheese there, but just a Rax and a scouting SCV going out early. It would be really interesting to see both players go air and kind of duke it out for that middle expansion if they both try to, lift off a command center there, but maybe just in my wildest wet dreams. But it looks like we're just going to be seeing a standard game from both Terran players. And Husky, you said this is your favorite map. Care to explain why?
You know what? I just love this map because in StarCraft 1 in the pro scene, which is what I've been following for the last couple of years until, of course, StarCraft 2, is that there just really aren't that many maps shaped like this. So it's something unique, and also, of course, the destructible rocks that really make a shorter rush distance, like an extremely short rush distance to your opponent. And then also, one more thing that I like about this map is the Island Expo, as well as only the gold. There's only one gold expansion on here, so there is a lot of crucial battles at those expansions. But so far from what I've seen, I think they're both playing standard, unless I'm missing some crazy cheese somewhere.
Yeah, I think this map, the only map you could say that is similar to it is, whoa, one SCV going down there, Drewbie taking out one, so a quick little early advantage. But the only map you could say is really close in comparison to Scrap Station would be Paranoid Android. And even that, it's still a little different. It looks like both players are... Looks like Drewbie is going to get an orbital command just a hair faster. So far, pretty standard, nothing too exciting to commentate on.
Yeah, they are indeed playing standard. They have the same amount of workers. There is a second barracks on the way, it looks like, for our Green Terran player Drewbie. And I'm not even sure what they're talking about, but before they were in-game talking about lag. So I think a lot of these games may revolve around lag, as they were talking about that in the early game as well. But so far, all I've seen is Fredz is skipping his second barracks for now, while Drewbie's actually getting his second barracks and a factory. What is Fredz, like, is he doing anything? It just seems like the other guy's, like, way out-macroing him right now.
Yeah, I think Fredz is throwing an extra command center down. I thought we were going to see a factory, but it looks like Fredz is going to be going for an econ build yet again, similar to the previous game when he played against the Zerg. But I'm not sure if this is going to pay off this time, because we do have two Raxes with a tech lab going down and a factory. So it looks like we're going to see the first battle occur over on Fred's side of the map as he tries to secure that natural expo. We'll see how well that pays off for him.
I'm kind of curious to see exactly what Drewbie's going to do, because he just finished the first tech lab. He has actually a Marine making there, even though it just finished. And then he's getting the tech lab for his factory as well. So maybe some sort of mix with tanks and an early push. Maybe blasting through these rocks we were talking about to try and put early pressure, which may end up working against Fredz, because like we've been talking about, he got that really early expansion. And so kind of curious to see if he can hold that expansion and get an economic lead, or if this timing push is just going to slap him in the face.
Yeah, we do have a pair of Marines moving out here. Not going to be much of a threat, probably just for scouting purposes. Maybe he's going to leave one. Oh no, he's actually got 3 at the watchtower already. I did not see this. So he's got about 5 Marines with a couple more reinforcing in the back. So he might make an early bunker push of some sort here. I'm not sure. Back at Drewbie's base, meanwhile, he is getting 2 tanks. No siege tech being researched yet. So he is going to be making that early push like I said before, and we are going to see that first battle occur. And meanwhile, for Fredz, he's just getting an orbital command, and it'll be interesting to see if he lifts off right after that thing is done, or if he's just going to use it to accumulate more resources at his one base.
Oh my goodness, excuse me. To be honest, of course, right when I'm going to talk, I start choking. But to be honest, that SCB, I was hoping that he was going to throw down an early bunker. Try and do it, TBZ style, where you do an early bunker rush to their expansion. I'm just talking about StarCraft 1 there. Unfortunately, I don't think we are going to see a bunker, as the siege tank is just now finishing, and looks like he is going to put that up there on that high ground. which is a really good place with that second siege tank just now finishing. So I think we will be seeing a timing attack here from Drewbie because Fredz, he sure isn't going to have an army anytime soon.
Yeah, and Drewbie here is getting a starport. Fredz doesn't even have a factory yet, so Drewbie is way ahead in terms of tech, but very soon Fredz is going to start catching up because he does have a second base. But it's going to be up to Drewbie. Is he going to build a dropship? I want to see a dropship. No, he's going to get a tech lab. So I have no idea what both these players are doing. We don't see any action going on the map yet, so I can't really, I don't know what build they're going. I can't call it right now.
Yeah, I think that Drewbie is just basically going to try and do, I mean, like we've been saying, some sort of timing attack. Really curious to see what he's going to get with that tech lab. Once you get the tech lab, it does open up a few additional units that you can get. He can't really afford it. Yeah, he is getting a Banshee right now, which not as effective in TVT as it can be in other matchups.
Oh, and a scan went down on it.
Oh, did he see? Yeah, the scan is going right now, and the Banshees, they are still effective, though, in TVT. You shouldn't count them out. You just can't use them to engage their army as much because of the Marines. So will this work or not? Kind of curious to see, but from my experience, it's hard to pull this off in TVT.
And look at Fredz, he's struggling to get that engineering bay as quickly as he can, and I'd imagine that's to get some missile turrets up because he did get a scan down. He saw the tech lab. At this point in the game, the only thing the tech lab opens up that's realistic is the Banshee. And I don't think you'd see a Raven in TVT, though I could be mistaken. So I got to assume that engineering bay is to get some missile turrets up. Are we going to see some missile turrets for Fredz going up at the natural and the main? Not yet. He's just destroying the rocks, so I'm still clueless as to what is going on.
Yeah,
there's the missile turret. There's the missile turrets.
Just a little bit late on the missile turret. The Banshee's over here attacking the missile turret right off the bat. Should probably actually just go for the workers. Really curious as to why those missile turrets are at the edge, not by the workers, because that's really the only thing you have to guard. But here comes some Marines right now to defend. But what? Fredz is actually moving out across the map, so they may be doing a base race here, as they seem to be just trading bases right now, for lack of better words.
Yeah, and Drewbie is not aware of the main Fred army coming in across the shortcut here. So both players, like you said, could be trading bases. The important difference is that Drewbie does have Siege Tech and a Banshee still wailing away at the mineral line. How many kills does that Banshee have? 13 kills already. 13 SCVs have gone down. Maybe a couple Marines, so that number might be a little bit misconstructed. But both players are going to be going for a base race, like you said, and it's going to be interesting to see who's going to come out on top.
I don't know if base race is an actual term, but it sure is pretty fun to say, as that is exactly what it is. But it looks like Drewbie forced to fall back right now. I think that Drewbie's in pretty awful shape. Like I said, the Banshee can cause a lot of damage, but is it enough to win you a game? It's hard to tell right now, as the Banshee does have 15 kills before it is going to get shot down. But this is not looking good for Drewbie. His army actually isn't that big.
Yeah, right now I would have liked to see Drewbie go in and try to attack Fred's base instead of pull all the way back across the map. That entire time pull back cost him a lot of buildings in his main, and although he is going to wipe this out with his SCVs and Marines combined, he's just lost so much stuff. And look at this command center. Well, is it going to burn to death? It's at 44 HP. Is he really going to let it die? Come on, get an SCV on that and heal that thing before it blows up.
Oh man, that was so close. I was like biting my bottom lip right here. How sad would that be if he held off that attack, which he actually held it off really well. Where are these SCVs going? Get back to fixing that burning command center. There we go. But that would have been just sad if he lost that command center right there, because he actually held that off fairly well. But as you can see, he's making a lot of barracks here, so that's because he lost all of his buildings. This is a really weird position for both players. But Fredz, I think, will be able to macro up an army quite easily, because you got to remember, Drewbie doesn't have the tanks to turtle like he needs to.
Yeah, he lost a lot of those tanks in the first major battle, and he's struggling to reconstruct his production facilities. And even though that Banshee got 13 SCV kills, I would assume it was all SCVs, maybe a couple Marines like I said. The important thing is Fredz was operating on two bases for such a long time. He was able to mule up and reconstruct his SCV line and just get his economy back up and running so much quickly. And so he's got 800 income compared to Drewbie's 600 income. So right now Fredz is in a strong position. Another battle going on here, and I don't see any way how Drewbie's gonna, take this game.
I am really confused as to why Drewbie set his units up right there. He he even scanned this army, and he still left his siege tanks way out in the open. What he should have done is kept them on the high ground, at least somewhere back by the expansion or somewhere other than just right out in the open. And so this one, I definitely don't think he's going to hold off no matter how many SCVs he has.
Yeah, that is going to be a struggle for survival, but unfortunately SCVs go extinct and Drewbie calls GG. So Fredz wins 2-0. And he's going to advance on to the third match. Keep in mind, this is going to be a best of 5. And of course, if an entire team gets knocked out, then they do have the option of putting up another player up to the best of 7. It's a bit complicated, but we'll explain that as more goes on. So Fredz, excuse me, is going to go on to face Cats in the third match.
Yeah, how they have these games set up is actually really confusing. I still don't understand it, so thankfully HD here is here to guide the way. But I know there's 7 games total that can be played, so we're gonna move on to game number 3.
All right, let's do it.